It's the Al Travis Show, and we love having our farm guy come in, Jerry Groskreutz, farmer extraordinaire. He has, if I'm not mistaken, the fourth generation on his farm, and he has been there 45 years, so I can't wait to talk with him. How's he doing, Jerry?
I'm almost happy with the weather, Al.
Almost happy. See, if you don't actually get the spigot to turn it on and off, you'll never be actually happy with the weather, right? God needs to hand you the spigot.
Yeah. Well, one of the words that farmers know a little bit too well is TOO. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too dry. We're walking the fine line here, Al.
And on the other hand, my golf course looks like $1 million, and I don't have to mow my lawn, so things have been going well for me as well. I'm not complaining. I don't want to tick you off, but there was a gal who writes for the Star Trib who did an article on, let me see if I got it right here. The 7 reasons Minnesotans should grow less corn. And she's not talking about sweet corn. And I'd like to talk to you about it. Did you see the article?
No, I didn't.
Oh, this is even better. Then let's do this. I will bring up the 7 reasons live against Jerry, and Jerry will rebut this heck of a great reporter. This gal, Jerry, 4 generations, 45 years in the farm. This gal looks all about 12, but she's going to tell Jerry why she's number one. Corn needs tremendous amount of fertilizer, which often pollutes our lakes, streams, and drinking water. While most Minnesota community water systems meet federal guidelines, many private wells do not. Shame on you farmers, Jerry. Come on. Give me what are you talking about?
Well, we have learned a whole lot about managing nitrogen. And the first response is if we weren't growing corn, you would still have some nitrogen issues because you know what organic matter is, right? The decaying material in the soil.
Yes.
As that decomposes and mineralizes, and if we were growing switchgrass or native prairie, that would be decomposing in the soil, and you would still have some nitrogen problems. So
fair enough. That's your response. I can live with that. Number 2, we got to get through 7. Number 2, corn is a monoculture that destroys habitat. Corn growers can grow significantly more corn per acre than they used to, but the density of the corn, the chemicals used, displace wildlife. They actually quoted a guy, 74-year-old, who says, I remember hunting back in Faribault in the 60s through the 80s. The pheasants would hide around the weeds of the corn stalk, and you don't see that anymore. Shame, Jerry, on you and all those growing my food.
All right. How about an example, Al? I was out yesterday afternoon walking my bean field. There was a few rogue water hemp plants. Mm-hmm. And, one plant can produce a couple 100,000 seed or more. So a couple growing here and there, I go out to pick them, and I come across about a 4x4, 6x6 square where the deer had been laying in my bean field. And I was out in my cornfield walking the other day, and guess what was laying down on the ground? Something that the raccoon leaves behind after it's been eating my corn. And I was driving down the driveway yesterday, and there was 2 wild turkeys with 3 littler ones that were born last spring. I've been watching them all summer, and now they're growing a little bit more. So I would like to ask this reporter if she'd like to come down to my farm and see all the wildlife.
Yeah.
And when you see the deer or the raccoon, they are corn-fed. In other words, they aren't starving.
Okay, this is all anecdotal. We're not sticking behind Jerry on this. We do not confirm on the Al Travis Show that raccoons actually poo. We don't know that, but we'll go with it. The farm economy depends too heavily on corn. When corn prices are high, that's fine, but this year they drop below $4 bushel, almost as low as the 2010s. Still a big enough hit that hurts the economy. Your problem with grazing corn, Jerry, is that it affects the economy. What the heck does that even mean?
I'm not real sure. And it is kind of ironic that We raise corn and soybeans, sweet corn, peas, canning crops. Not many farmers grow wheat anymore, but all the prices are quite low right now.
No.
So maybe if the people in the cities that are experts at raising crops, maybe they should appreciate that food is reasonably priced because we're so good at producing too much food.
Okay. That's your problem. You produce too much and you might as well stop. Okay, we're at number 4. These are just I'm just listening to stuff. This is printed in the city's paper, the Minnesota Star Tribune now. It's for all of us. It uses in biofuel heats the planet. Corn received a big boost, 2005-07, federal laws, putting in ethanol to be mixed with our fuel supply.
Yes.
There are now 200 ethanol plants, 1/8 of those in Minnesota, making Minnesota the 5th largest ethanol producer in the U.S., according to Minnesota Biofuels Association. However, ethanol touts itself as being environmentally friendly, but it does consume a lot of alcohol or a lot of water to make the ethanol. Shame, Jerry. Now we're saving the planet, but by saving the planet, we're killing the planet because you raise corn.
Yep, and we make ethanol. So, number one, because of ethanol, the air is much cleaner in Minnesota. In fact, before we had ethanol, numerous days during the summer, the metropolitan area would exceed the clean air standards because of all the pollutants from petroleum. Because we started putting ethanol in, I don't believe in the last 20 years it's exceeded the clean air standards for the pollutants that come from your gas engine because it burns so much cleaner because of ethanol.
Okay. I'm not sticking up for this gal's journalism. I'm really not. It's all from the Minnesota Star Tribune here last week. I pulled it up. We've got 5, 6, and 7. Those next 3 coming up right after the break because, goodness gracious, you've got to hear this. Even you selling it cheaply is crushing us, Jerry. You can't get a break, and we'll talk about that coming up here in a moment. It's Jerry Groskreutz, our family farmer, answering the question, why do we still grow this much corn in Minnesota? For heaven's sakes, it's plain and simple as all get out to these Twin Cities folks. We'll talk more about it right after this. Jerry Groskreutz, my farmer extraordinaire, on the Al Travis Show. Yes, it's the Al Travis Show, but this has got to be just burning Jerry's chaps. Jerry Groskreutz in. There was an article written for the Star Trib, the Greater Minnesota's. This is the gal, Karen somebody. She had written one about just way too much corn out there. It was just, nothing else can grow. She wrote that article we talked about before. Now she's giving you the reasons why we grow too much in Minnesota, and Jerry's answering the fact live in there. He's not seen these 7 points. Here's number 5. I love this. When we grow too much corn, we dump it on Mexico's market at rates below the cost to produce it, destabilizing Mexico. Jerry, I didn't know you were an international man of mystery, but here's what you're doing. You're not getting enough money, so you're selling it for what you can get, and you're hurting other people who aren't getting that kind of money. Jerry, why are you messing with other world? Why are you messing with international intrigue?
Maybe because Mexico likes to eat. And because we are so good at raising corn, we can raise it less expensively than farmers in Mexico or some other country. So they buy the corn from us, so their standard of living improves. They maybe grow other things like maybe vegetables. A lot of this country isn't suitable for raising vegetable. We have beautiful land for raising corn and soybeans up here. The only way we raise tomatoes and vegetables is in a big greenhouse in the wintertime. So Mexico maybe has a comparative advantage in producing what they do a lot of, like vegetables. So we can produce corn efficiently. We sell it to Mexico. Mexico can produce vegetables more efficiently maybe than we can. So we buy the vegetables from Mexico.
I see what you did there. I would use the banana market as an example. The people that grow the bananas are dumping them on Minnesotans at a price at which we can't grow the banana for, thus crushing the banana market in Minnesota. And if you look, I don't know if there was one banana grown in Minnesota all year and put on the market, Jerry. I see what they're talking about. This is crushing Minnesota banana farmers.
Yep, but not a lot of banana trees, I don't believe, raised in Minnesota, but I could be wrong.
Well, it would happen if they stopped dumping their bananas at cut rate prices up here. This young lady is driving me nuts just with, you're grasping at straws here. Here's the other thing, Jerry. You grow corn and it's expensive. Corn is one of the most tax-subsidized crops in the U.S., with growers receiving billions of dollars a year, mostly through insurance subsidies. What about the sugar beets and all the
And what about cotton and peanuts? And they are, because when they're writing the farm bill, you find out who has clout in the senators, representatives, as to which crop gets treated a little bit better. So cotton, peanuts, all sorts of things. And I will grant her one thing, that the federal government does pay a percentage of my crop insurance to encourage me to manage my risk and be responsible by buying the crop insurance. So, but
maybe I'm missing something. She's trying to tell you why you should not grow more corn in Minnesota, but she's telling you that you get subsidies if you have insurance to do it. That would make me think you'd want to grow corn instead of, I don't know, bananas.
Well, and the other thing is, what else are we supposed to grow? Oh, I know. Oh, I'd have a problem passing the background check to start growing cannabis, I guess. So
see, that's what they're looking for, is mammoth cannabis bars. The last one, Jerry. God. You don't want to call anybody less than brilliant, but this is the seventh reason why we should stop growing so much corn in Minnesota. Corn makes summer extra humid. They release moisture in the air. It sucks water out of the ground, uses it, releases it into the air. It raises the dew point by 5 to 10 degrees from mid-July to mid-August. I would absolutely love to figure out who did that study. Yeah. That humidity across the globe is 5 to 10 degrees up higher because of corn.
I did check on that this summer. You mentioned it a while back, corn and respiration.
The humidity, yeah.
Yeah, and the humidity, and it seemed logical because we've got millions of acres of corn and soybeans in Minnesota, and respiration and photosynthesis, it's taking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, storing it in the plant, and it's expelling oxygen. So if you like to breathe, that kind of sounds like something good is happening here. But a professor, I think it was at Iowa State, ran the numbers, and it wasn't anywhere near what you would anticipate that it would be. Even surprised me. So it's maybe not as big an impact on raising the humidity as we first thought.
If you want to think it's the photosynthesis and all that, if it wasn't corn and it was just fields of grass and flowers, they're all doing the same thing. That's what they do.
Exactly.
So you're not changing anything except what you're getting out of it. So anyway, Jerry, thanks for playing our game. I really wish this lady keeps writing so I can keep going, because she didn't convince me on one topic on why we should grow less corn. Unless you're going to say by decreasing corn's yield, you'll see prices go up. I understand the math of that. But other than that, she's just mistaken.
You know what would happen then is it's a competitive market worldwide. So we've tried that back in the 60s, set aside. So we cut our acres by 10%. Guess what? Brazil and other countries, Europe, produce more, and we're subsidizing the whole world. So maybe we just got to compete, because nobody can compete with the American farmer in terms of if the playing field is level.
Yeah, absolutely. One other thing before I let you go, Jerry, I was talking with a farm friend of mine that they're now really quite concerned that China has not bought their general assortment of soybeans or whatever this shipment, and they're worried that the tariff thing is going to really have an effect. I used a Jerry term, and I want to make sure I used it correctly. I said, my guy Jerry told me there's just X number of beans in the world, and they can say they aren't going to buy from us for a while, but then they buy somewhere else. Somebody's going to have to buy those soybeans. It might affect the price for a day or two, but at some point, they're not going to eat the grass. They're going to have to find some soybeans somewhere. Am I quoting you kind of right there? This is going to work out?
I'm impressed. You're a very good student, Al.
Thank you very much.
Well, not an A. We'll give you a B+.
I can live with that.
So many million metric ton of beans. So if China buys all of the beans that they can get from Brazil, guess what? Brazil's customers, normal customers, will be coming to us. And if you look at the weekly export sales report and the export loadings, USDA reports that every week, some really unusual countries have been showing up. So, and because they'll sell at the destination over. So, boy, I don't ever remember that country.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to me that made sense, and it got that guy off my back a little bit. So, where are we sitting? I'm under the impression the estimates from the USDA came out, and they were lower now than they were projecting earlier. Which you were saying, everybody gets a bumper crop; they always project more. Are they proving Jerry right?
Well, they lowered the yield just a little bit, but then they said, "Oh, we made a mistake, so we planted a whole lot more acres than we thought we would, so the carryout stays about the same."
Man, at some point you just stop following it, don't you? It's just like it is what it is. I mean, they're just throwing out cards every which way.
When those numbers came out on Friday, oh man, this is bearish. Corn market closed up 10 cents on Friday after the report. The market said, "Yeah, I don't think so."
I'm sorry to hear it, Jerry. Jerry, and I love having you on. I know you were not ready for my 7 questions on why you should get rid of corn, but I appreciate you playing the game. I really do.
I've seen all of those things before, and I would love to sit down and
we got to get her on
discussion and say, "Well, come on out to the farm, and I'll show you." You hire somebody, say you're the greater Minnesota, ag person, and she doesn't seem to understand a thing, Jerry. It is just crazy, but we got to go. I'm out of time. Appreciate you, my friend. I really do. Have a nice golf game.
Oh, absolutely. The weather's fantastic. Enjoy your corn changing from nice green to brown. He's Jerry Groskreutz, farmer extraordinaire on the Al Travis Show. More after this.